Alrighty guys, so this video is going to be about bigger baits for bigger fish. I don't know if you guys have really noticed, but I've started getting into bigger bass lures, bigger crankbaits, bigger swim baits, bigger topwater lures. So I figured I would do a video on some of my bigger baits that I use and some of the ones that have worked for me. One, two, three, four of these baits I've caught fish on. One, two, three of these baits I have not. One thing real quick that I forgot to go get was the 168 S waiver, the big S waiver. I forgot to go get it, but that's another one that I was going to put in here, but I forgot it. So anyway, yeah. So one thing that I love to throw is bigger worms, and this is something that has produced for me quite a bit in the past year. About in the past year is when I started fishing them. I started fishing the big 8-inch bullworm. This one here's a 10-inch, but the 8-inch is also a good worm. I like the green pumpkin color. Another good color is the double header. It's basically like a green pumpkin with some red and some lighter green in it. But yeah, if I was going to get a color, or if I was going to tell you what color to get, I'd say green pumpkin because it's a good all-around natural looking color. But yeah, green pumpkin striking bullworm is a really good worm. Next, another swim bait that I have is this Savage Gear swim bait that I just bought a few days ago. Actually, about a week and a half ago. This one here is a really nice swim bait. I like the action on it. I've tried it out at the new pond a couple times. I like the action on it. It looks really good. It's sort of like a Huddleston. That's what I was thinking of. I couldn't think of the name of the swim bait. It's sort of like a Huddleston, but it's a lot cheaper. I bought this thing for like $8. A good bait. It's not like a giant, but it's pretty big. Then another bait that I have not caught a fish on, but is still a big bait, and I think it'll have its time, is the Big Easy Swimmer by Gambler. The Big Easy is a pretty well-known swim bait, especially down in Florida, and I wanted to buy some for the fish around here, trying to catch some bigger fish. And I've only had like 2 or 3 bites on this, but I have not fished it a whole lot, so for what I have fished it, I've had a few bites. One bait that I have caught some fish on is this fluke. Now this is something that I don't think I've ever showed you guys in my videos, but I have caught some like 3, almost 4 pounders on the fluke. I actually only have 2 left because some bass stole my other ones. One, I was fishing a drop shot, and I had it perfectly rigged on this drop shot. I spooked a fish, so I flipped it out in front of him about maybe 6 feet, and he hit it. And as soon as he hit it and I set the hook, that daggone fluke went flying, and so I lost a full fluke. But I still have 2, and I'm thinking about buying some more because they do work. They're really good drop shot baits, believe it or not. I call it the Texas drop shot, and you can call it that, or you can call it whatever. I kind of have 2 names for it: the Texas shot and the Illinois shot, because it's a lot bigger setup. I use a 10-pound Berkeley trilene with a 20-pound line to the weight, with a 2 or 3/0 EWG hook, and I use some bigger worms like this here with it. Because this is a worm, it's a fluke, but I use these here, trick worms and stuff like that, work really well. Then another bait that I just recently bought that I've only tried out once is the big Cloud 9 by 6 cents. Now this is a Magnum square bill. This is a huge square bill. Here's a 7-inch fluke. There it is compared to the Cloud 9. It's a very big square bill, and it's a very loud square bill. It's got them one knocker style rattles in it. It's a very big, beefy square bill. I'm pretty sure it weighs 1.5 ounces or 1.25 ounces. It is a very big bait. So you know, this something like this here, you know, I would throw on like a 20-pound line. Now I say a line because a lot of people like throwing other things. You know, I would throw braid with something like this, just so it won't break off or you know, get messed up by the bait itself. You know, because this is a big bait, and you know, if you make a bad cast with a backlash, you know, monofilament could possibly break with such a big bait. So anyway, yeah. And then another bait. Now this here is the 120 S waver. Now this is not a big bait really at all, but it is a pretty decent size. Now I do have the 168, which is a lot bigger than this. Honestly, this is probably one of the, this is not going to make sense, but this is probably one of the smallest big baits I have. That probably don't make sense, but you know what I mean. It's a pretty good bait. I've caught one fish on it. You know, I watched some videos on this bait, and a lot of the people said the slower you reel it, the more bites you'll get. But I done that for a long time. I done that for probably a half hour with this bait, and so I finally got sick of just slow rolling it. So I started reeling really quickly, like burning it in, and that was the only time I was ever getting bites. That was the one time I got a bite and caught a fish. Now the hookup ratio for some reason is kind of off on this. I don't know if it was just the way they were biting it that day. It might have been, but the it's a good bait. I like this color. Ah, there's a hook. Hooks are very sharp, but this is a really cool color. I think it's called a Party Crasher, I believe is the color, but it's a really cool color. Next, I mean, you guys probably already knew that this was in here. The big 130 Whopper plopper. I had to put this one in here, and I wanted it to be the last one because it is the most famous one, in my opinion, out of all these that I've caught fish with. I've only caught 2 fish with it, but the bigness of the fish I caught with it. You know, the first cast I made with this, I made a long bomb cast out towards the middle, and I got it right next to my feet, and a 5-pounder came up and just smoked this thing. And the other fish that I caught on it was literally about the size of the bait itself, but you know, that sometimes happens. But you know, this bait became one of my favorites almost instantly when I caught that 5-pounder. Now this one here is in the bone color. I do have a 130 in the loon color. That's what it's called. Then I have 290 size, and I'm thinking about getting a 110. I don't really know though. I may not, but I thought about it. But I don't think I will. Who knows? I might end up just going ahead and buying it. But anyway, yeah, this is a really good bait for bigger fish. Now, that's it. That's all the baits that I have here. But another bait that I did not put in this video, like I said at the beginning, is the S Waver 168. Now that is a big swim bait. That is a lot bigger than this one here. I mean, it's about that much bigger than about 2 inches longer. It is a very big, bulky bait, and it's a really cool bait. I love fishing it, even though I've not even really fished with it yet. But I can already tell that it's going to be a good bait. So anyway, yeah. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos like this. By the time you're watching this, I'm probably already hunting. Actually, 2 days ago, which would be Saturday, I went out midday hunting and seen like 6 or 7, maybe even 8 or 9 big, decent sized bucks with 2 small ones. I seen a little 8-pointer about that big and a little 3-pointer, but all the other bucks were pretty decent size, you know, definitely shooters. And I seen one big buck that I'm really excited to hopefully see again. They were all chasing does, and I was rattling them in and all that stuff. So I might do a story video on that after this. But make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Goodbye.